I also want to thank my deputy president. Because all in all, along that path, I kept him abreast of what was going on. He was part and parcel. It's the truth, I'm not lying. Ask him, he's here. He was part and parcel. In fact, he helped me identify some of the wazés I just mentioned here. Yeah. And the purpose, as I had told him, and as we agreed with Raila, was never to talk about what shall happen tomorrow in terms of our elective posts, but I said it was an extension of what I and you did in 2013. So that we can bring all of us on board and have a situation where no Kenyan is left behind. Okay? No Kenyan. And I said I would use today as a day to say my thanks and to put things also in context. Because I hope and pray that from here we shall focus ourselves on the issue at hand. And the issue at hand is how to ensure unity in our diversity. And this is what divides us, because we pretend we are national leaders, but when the time comes, we switch to vernacular and we become what we are. And these are facts. Tusidanganyane. Na kila mtu anasema ile watu wako namna hii sijui, na wale wako hivi, na wale wako vile, na wale wako hivi. I will also admit today that I've also been part and parcel of that negative politics. Yeah. So I'm not blaming, I'm not saying this because I'm pointing fingers at anybody. I am just saying we have all been part of this mess. We have all been part of it. But we never want to talk about it. We all pretend how great and how national leaders we are. All right? And that is why we must address ourselves to this issue of inclusivity. Because if we are going to remove this kasumba that has disturbed us, we must deal with this issue of inclusivity so that every single community and section of this country feels that they are part and parcel of this great nation. And you know, we started pole addressing ourselves to that issue even in 2010. By bringing on devolution and ensuring now resources were going kule mashinani. But there were still elements that were left. Elements that made people feel that they were left out of national government. So the issue of inclusivity is critical and was critical. And we said with my friend here, we must address ourselves to that issue so that future generations will be able to address themselves as Kenyans. Lakini nyinyi msitudanganye hapa ukabila umejaa. Na ni vizuri, unajua mtu asiposema ukweli tunaficha kule, but then we never address it. And that's why I'm saying I want to thank these gentlemen because they are trying to address themselves to those issues. Because until we do, our politics will consistently be negative. And we want to change that cycle so that our politics can be positive driven. Positive, that we are winners when we are together. That is the direction that we wish to move ourselves in. The second big problem we have is our young people. Again, let us not cheat ourselves. It is our young people. We have a youth bulge that, if not properly handled, can be a time bomb that can blow this country to pieces. And the handling of that has to be done extremely carefully. Extremely carefully. That is not a problem of this community or that. It affects us all. But how we manage it, we must manage it very carefully. We cannot manage it through inciting them. All right? If we are to deal with our youth problem, we must deal with our economy. And there is no country in the world that has ever developed on a 5-year cycle of politics. You can never develop on a 5-year cycle. And if you cannot develop your economy, how do you create the jobs? If every cycle you spend 1 whole year, and in this case, in our case, it's 2 years, before the election campaigning, then you spend another 2 years after the election campaign trying to sort out the political mess, umebaki na mwaka moja ya kufanya kazi. Uchumi kweli tutapanua? Wenzangu, vijana kweli tutawapatia kazi? Yeah? Na ndipo niliwaambia juzi wakati tulikuwa tumeenda kuanzisha mradi wa hawa vijana, na nikawaambia, my friends, be very careful. It is very exciting and it is very sweet. But we must stop this culture of use and dispose of our young people. And instead, nobody can do that. I can't do it alone. We must be together, and we must engage in that conversation together. Tunaelewana wenzangu? And I strongly believe if we just deal with those two issues, and I know there are many other issues dealing with women, dealing with handicap, and I don't want to get into them. Kwa sababu tumesoma na tumesema tutakuwa na dialogue. Lakini mimi ombi langu kwenu nyinyi ni wakati